The audiences have been great. I
Good.
think people are really excited to be out in a post-COVID world. They're appreciative when we come to the town, and they're appreciative that we put on a good show. And I think that, like, they're getting that energy in return from us. And I think,
Good.
but more than anything, I'm appreciative of their energy. Like, I'm just excited to be out working again. And it was a
Yeah.
long couple of months in that COVID world. So
What's going on with comedy and you and like the touring stuff? Like, how are you handling everything right now?
It still feels weird,
Yeah.
but I can feel with the crowds, like the shows are selling out again. And, I can feel that people are over it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just like, good God, give it to me or whatever, and people really want to get out and laugh. So I've been doing it's been a weird year. Like I'm doing some shows with John Reap, these Reap and Reno shows. I'm doing shows with Josh Arnold, the Bob and Tom thing. I'm doing a couple of shows with Cletus T. Judd in West Virginia where he was on the radio. And, it's people are coming out, man. I mean, they're packing them in. So it's fun. It's a great, you can look at it. You can look at the negatives or you can look at the positives. The positives are, I feel like we're coming out of it. I feel like people are at a point where they're like, I'm going to live my life, and I don't think it's just comedy. I mean, I think it's every business has just been trounced. So it's like, let's go do something, man. We can't just sit around for the rest of our lives and, hide out.
Let's do something. And you can still do things safely. I'm totally down with that. Hell, I tell people in the shows, I go, you want to wear a mask? That's fine. I say, if you heard my comedy, you may want to have earplugs too. True. This has been going on since about 2016.
Yeah. 2015, 2016, I believe. I was trying to remember if this is the 6th annual or the 5th annual. We took a 2-year hiatus, obviously, because of COVID.
Right.
So this is our first one back since. So I can't, with the 2 years behind us, the time frame is so wonky that who knows,
Well, you're doing your stuff. You're lawyering. You're doing stuff with the Daily Show, and then January, February 2020 comes about. Things get a little dicey. NBA starts canceling some games. Other sports start canceling some stuff. Businesses get a little hairy. What happens? You're on top of the world doing what you do for years. What happened in the life of Vince August when that pandemic started?
Well, it was crazy because the last show I did that wasn't warm-up was at Westbury in Long Island.
Wow.
Which, if you know it, it's in the round. It couldn't be any more of a petri dish for COVID that if you tried to create one.
Right.
And here we are. So when you walk out of Westbury, you literally walk and there's people high-fiving you as you're walking past them. So you're getting touched by everybody. And we just kind of got the hint that it was out there.
Uh-huh.
So as everyone's high-fiving us, I walk straight back to the dressing room and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to wash my hands just to be safe because, the fear just started.
Yeah.
The next week, I go to the Daily Show and I'll never forget, it's Thursday, March 12th. And the executive producer's like, look, you know what? We're going to have to shut it down. They're saying it's going to be 2 weeks for this flatten the curve thing. We think it's going to be a little bit more. I'm like, look, I got relatives in Italy. This thing is bad. It's March. Trust me, we're not going to be back before May. In fact, I'm going to go because Trump's the president. I think it's going to be irony. I'm going to say Cinco de Mayo, the country's back. And I thought I was going long, and man, did I miss. So, yeah, and it was, I have to tell you, everything came to a crashing halt. We had 60 more tour dates on the tour with Trevor. The show was going great. I'm on a fast track to get to, I list all of the shows I've ever done. I have a diary that I write every show down in. I'm on my way to 3,000 shows. Not a big deal for most people, but for me, I don't know. I grew up a Roberto Clemente fan. 3,000 hits. I'm trying to get to my 3,000 show.
Nice.
And then the next thing you know, there's nothing. And the worst thing I did, Pat, was I put that May 4th date in my own head because I was good for March. April, I started making videos trying to keep people laughing. May, I was doing the same thing. I crashed in June 2020. That's when I was like, shit, we're in trouble. this thing isn't open. And in New Jersey, we had the lockdown of all lockdown guys, Murphy, who he wasn't giving an inch. He didn't care about science. He went with the fear approach that everyone else. And I'm not saying it was wrong in the sense if I get why he did what he did. I don't get the nursing home thing between him and Cuomo, whatever. That's a whole different political discussion. But we knew we weren't opening. We knew we were done for a while.
With the pandemic and everything else going on in the world and maybe in your life, what's been going on with you, your family? How's it affected your career, COVID? How's everything been going with Dad Phan?
It's been crazy. I got married at the beginning of the pandemic, and
Nice.
we're still married, amazingly. My wife, Katie, she's great. And, we stopped the pandemic just in time for whatever's going on in Europe right now. That's fantastic.
It's one after the other, right?
Yeah. And I'm being sarcastic, by the way. I think it's a
Right.
terrible thing that's happening overseas, as you know.
I heard something's going. I'm not even sure. I'm in a bubble. Is there another war going on?
You don't know?
I heard something. But all I know is, seriously, I am not ordering any more Russian escorts here in Tampa. They are off the list.
Yeah. It's a weird time. It's very strange. We had that very strange 2-year pandemic, which we're at the tail end of right now. And then now there's the whole unfortunate thing with Ukraine. And I hope, we all hope that all this stuff will stop, as you know.
And how are things right now going on? Like, dare I say, post-pandemic? How is the scene out there compared to what it was before we had COVID going on?
Honestly, out of all the places I've been to, I feel like LA took the longest to get back to normal. And I don't even know. Yeah. Who knows what normal is anymore? But I still feel like it's not there 100%. It's at 92% right now. A lot of shows disappeared. Slowly, new ones came in to replace it, and so that's why it's almost back to normal. But it was weird. It was weird for a long. It's still weird, but it was really weird for a long time.
How's everything going out there where you are in California? How's the family doing? How are you? How is it affecting your life? But how are you getting around it with COVID going on?
Everything is going on. Everything is going good. It kind of slowed down a little bit during the holidays because everyone started getting sick again and everyone was getting scared. Numbers started rising, which we don't know if it's real or not anymore or whatever. We don't know what to believe. All we know is that it does affect shows. It does affect work. It affected the HA for a little bit. It slowed us down a little bit. But overall, my parents are good. My family's good. My kids are good. I'm good. And I'm having a baby on the way. I have a baby on the way.
Oh, wow.
What?
Nice.
So that's
Congrats.
some great news. I need to do this today. I got to go out there and get this. I got to book a commercial. It's just a constant grind. And now that she's pregnant right now, I have that push again. I kind of lost it a little bit because of COVID. It really freaking slowed me down. But now I have that fire, the eye of the tiger. It's back.
Well, I guess, was it a day job? I never knew you did this kind of woodwork and construction. I see you doing videos with bobcats or bulldozers. Where'd you get this from?
So what happened was, first of all, when you quit drinking, your brain, I probably drank a lot because my brain just freaking spins, dude. I can't sleep at night.
Yeah.
So I have to wear myself out to be able to rest and just shut my brain down. So we started doing it for a couple weeks. We were trying to sell a show, a construction show, and my buddy's a contractor.
Right.
So I went out, we filmed for 2 weeks and I was working. Well, I never knew, especially the past couple of years, whether my clubs and theater shows were going to go. I could be on the way to the airport on a Friday morning and they call and go, hey, show's canceled tonight. Somebody got COVID, whatever.
Right.
So my buddy's like, dude, if you want to work and come in and work with me, have at it. We can try for a couple. And I ended up doing it for almost 2 years.
Wow.
But it was, so I'd work Monday through Thursday construction, then Friday morning maybe, and then go to clubs, work Friday and Saturday, Sunday, come back Sunday night, and then Monday morning I was back at work. But dude, it was more therapeutic than anything. And financially, my kids aren't going to stop eating because of this stuff. I got to do something.
Started doing Zoom gigs. Man.
I know.
Not fun. Then I got lucky. I got a couple writing gigs through Trevor and his management team to keep me going, to give me work, keep my brain sharp.
Cool.
So that kind of kept me alive to the end of the year. And then 2021, oh, Jesus, sorry about that. And then 2021, it was just, let's find anywhere we could to do comedy. And then it became, you're doing it in a park, you're doing it outside, but people were still terrified of coming back.
Yeah.
And I remember I opened the one club, its first show, Comedy Cove, and we had a max capacity of 25 people because we had the requirements here in Jersey, and we actually got 25 people in, and the comedy owner, was barely being able to pay us. I'm like, dude, give me half.
Right.
Give me half of what you normally would. We all got to work together.
Right.
And he never forgot it. He's like, dude, you have carte blanche to come here whenever you want, work stuff out. Once we're back full force, boom, this is your place. Then I had a friend of mine whose restaurant took a beating. They lost, obviously, all of their restaurant business. Then the building next door catches fire. Fire department puts out their fire. The water floods their basement, which is where all their inventory is. It's an Indian restaurant. Indian spices are not easy to come by. You pretty much got to get them from overseas. So they lost everything. So when they started opening, I'm like, hey, you want to try something together? How about on Thursdays I come here, a stool, a microphone, a speaker, no cover, no nothing, your food, my laughs, and we pass around a hat at the end. And I would sit there and just riff. Sometimes it was for an hour, sometimes 45 minutes, whatever made the people feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And this became a regular thing, and they were getting business, and I was getting a chance to do stuff. And it wasn't until September 2021 that things really opened. And then it became a question of, look, man, do I want to go to the city and run around chasing $25 spots, $50 spots,
Right.
$75 spots where there was no parking because every restaurant had a vestibule outside. So now you got to pay to park, pay to go in. Gas prices are going up. Or do I just keep doing my thing here in Jersey? So I kept doing my thing in Jersey, was writing. The tour came back a little bit. We had some dates. And it wasn't until this year that The Daily Show came back. And now, we're finally in full swing.
Comedians Uncorked.
For this and way more content, check out our Comedians Uncorked YouTube channel and hit subscribe.